What is up, everyone, and welcome back. My name is DFree, and for today's video, we are gonna do something that I don't do very often because it's always super duper controversial. We are doing a tier list. However, I have relegated the list down only to GT characters. Shout out to DNG for helping me out with this. You can follow him on Twitter. I believe he also has a channel. Shout out to him. So we are gonna do a tier list basically from best to worst for only GT characters. You see all of them on the screen. I have the fortune or misfortune, whichever way you want to look at it, given how this tag has been treated in the game. Anyways, I've had the fortune of using literally every single one of these characters in the time that they came out, so I can tell you a lot about them. I still remember most of their kits and things that they need to do. However, some of these characters are just flat out bad and were actually just never good. Some of them are pending Zenkais. We're going to talk about everything, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more content if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this. The most important thing for you to do is hit that thumbs up and show your support for the video. Also, leaving a comment down below with your opinions helps as well. The first thing I'll say before we jump in completely is that this video is just that. It's an opinion. You guys are not going to agree with everything I say in this video. In fact, I really don't want you to. But try to be civil. Tier lists tend to bring out the most toxicity in people. So I just want to try to make sure people, you know, respect other people's opinions and stuff. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to go in order from the characters I see first and foremost. This man is not even good enough to have an actual icon showing his face. Yo, so I'm gonna just say this. Shout out to Baby Vegeta here, because I think he actually could be decent with the Zenkai, to be honest, if they give him the right stuff. Some Zenkais are hit or miss these days, where they're giving them cool stuff or just kind of whatever, not really doing much to them. But he was unfortunately a character that was DOA. Ironically, I think that when he came out, he probably should have got a little bit more spotlight for what he was able to do. He was able to slide in on that Saiyan team and be a character that offered decent support in a time where their only real support, I think, was like Zenkai 7 Kid Goku back when he was like Z tier. So nonetheless, though, not good. Never really was quote unquote good either, but is a character that I wouldn't recommend using. But if he got a Zenkai, maybe he could function okay, but maybe you don't need two supports. So I gotta put our boy, the new level of power meme originator himself. Thank you, Toshi, for that timeless treasure from the 3-year anniversary Legends Festival. Our boy, Ice Shenron here. In best, he's gonna be the only character. No, okay, in all seriousness, I'm gonna put him, I mean, he's not recommended. I'm gonna put him here. You know what I think I'll do? I'm going to put characters in not recommended to begin, and if I think that they could be like your third choice or whatever, I'll put them here. I guess I should explain. So best slash Z tier are the characters that are the best among this grouping. That's not only going to be like one character, it'll probably be one character from each color group most likely, and there are not, it doesn't matter what order they're in inside of these tiers. This doesn't matter. It's up to you what you'd really want to say, unless I'll probably say, for obvious reasons, the tag SS4 is just the best character in general. We'll come back to them, but they are the best character and whatever tier they're going to be put into. But yeah, the tiers within don't really matter. But replacement, so we have best, that's self-explanatory. Replacement, so what's an example of a replacement option? Let's say you had Pan right here, and above that would be Super Baby 2. This is an example of a replacement option. Super Baby 2 is, without looking at the list, we'll go through it one more time. He's most likely the best blue available to this team. And then other than that, Pan would be your next best option. That's what the replacement option is for. We've got the characters like, I don't really think you should use them. Maybe situationally you can use them. And then we go ahead and go further down. Worst replacements, like, dude, okay, you are really scrapping the barrels. Actually, that would probably be Kid Goku here. You are really scrapping the bottoms of the barrels looking for a blue character in this instance specifically to really fill out your team, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back in order. So next up is EX Super Baby 2 right down there. I'm not going to explain him. Honey Pan, unfortunate. She was really fun when she came out with her paralysis and stuff, but unfortunate, not really usable. Here's, I believe, an EX Baby Vegeta. Look at all the Baby Vegetas. They're all at the bottom already. So we already kind of talked about Pan. Pan, ironically, I think had, you could say it was Tapion, but nonetheless, she had a very brief stint as the best support in the game. However, since she got her Zenkai, it was like, oh, here's a younger Pan that's the best support in the game, second best character in the game. I think still, by the way. I don't think the tag SS4s, from what I've seen, are better than her. But that's just because Pan, the red Pan, just kind of just controls the game in a lot of different ways and just stuff that shouldn't exist. She just does nonsense, right? Anyways, moving on. She had a brief stint as like the best, and then like I said, Super Baby 2 and that other Pan come out, so it's like, you know. But she's still really good. I think that her ability to offer support for allies, yeah, it's not so great once the timer limit runs out. It does kind of flip-flop for when she's defeated. There's some Dragon Ball stuff in there and some debuffs in there, so she's all right. And she can actually do really, really, really good damage. I believe she has the passive for when she gets a vanish, she gets extra damage and stuff like that. She was doing a ton of damage in my initial showcase for her. So yeah, you really want to get that perfect vanish with her, and she can really pop off with damage. All right. So, Goku. So, Goku's placement here is not because he's bad, right? I think Goku's still a decent character, even though he's a year and some change old by now. He came out right after the anniversary from 3 years, so just a year and some change old. I don't think he's bad. I think he's still got some stuff in his kit that's really good, like the sub count manipulation, AoE green, the combo ability. However, if I remember correctly, he didn't have the ability to nullify covers, which unfortunately, by today's standards, means that you're not really particularly useful. Look at, my God, look at the length of his passives. They're so small. Dude, look at, okay, I've got to do this. Look at this guy. He's got like one effect with like four sentences in it. Same deal here. This is how you know power creep is insane in this game, dude. That is ridiculous. Let's pull up one of the better characters. The first one I see, I'm gonna pull up. Let's pull up the tag. Okay, this isn't a fair comparison because this is literally an LF, but look at all the text here. God dang. It's not a fair comparison. Let's pull up Pan. Where the hell is Pan at? I just got to do it for the sake of the video. I'm sorry if this is wasting time. I just have to do it. Every single time I see this type of stuff, it's like, dude, what the hell did they do to this game? look at Pan. I said it before. You literally need a PhD to be able to understand this ability. My God, her unique ability right here is apparently not working or whatever. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, Goku unfortunately is power crept. He's missing some stuff, but I do like the way that he played with the sub count manipulation, the ability to do the combos, the AoE green. That stuff is really, really powerful stuff. Like shortening ally sub count on blue and green is ridiculous. So it's not really because he's bad, but it's because he's got better characters, you know, up on the list. So Baby is going to be our first Z tier character. This is pretty much what we already just had. Baby is the best blue on the team. I would say that for the most part, that's pretty true, but there are going to be instances where I personally would rather have Pan just for the playstyle. But Baby with the healing and the way that the healing synergizes with most of these characters, it's ridiculous. And also, just Baby got a lot of damage increases. I wish that he had got some disruption, but he really just got damage increases. They didn't really do much to him. But the healing and the damage increases to allies and stuff, he just is an insane character. Rildo, I recently did a video for. If he gets a Zenkai, he could be fun, assuming he gets nullify covers or some sort of lockout or something. We're not even gonna bother with that. Sorry, Riku. How can you live with yourself? I wanted to come back to Oob. Because I don't really know who else is there. Okay, so at worst, Oob is probably right here at worst. Because prior to the Zenkai of Goku, I would have put him here. Well, I think Oob has a tentative spot. We'll come back to him. But Oob having the endurance, the support, just the litany of different things he can do, debuffs, blah, blah, blah. AoE green card. Also having an AoE green card, apparently it's extremely rare because there are not a lot of characters that have it. Not even the most recent LF has it. But anyways, an AoE green card with the ability to nullify cover change for just a little bit of time. Just a little bit. Even just like 3 counts. It's like literally incredibly rare, and Oob has it, so I'm gonna have to put him pretty high up. Okay, so this is where things start getting a tiny bit interesting because Red, I think, is kind of competitive with this group because you got, okay, well, for one, sorry, you're going there because you're just old. Honestly, you can go and not recommended because you're not good either. What is with this team having a lot of AoE greens? Because he also has one too, doesn't he? Yeah, you're really not recommended, but I'll put you there just for the sake of it. They've got the Ultra, they got the free Goku, they've got SS4 Vegeta. Okay, let me move you, because also not recommended sin. Oh, I really don't know what order I would put these characters in. I really don't know. Huh. Let me pull up the free Kid Goku. Okay, we're gonna go through Kid Goku's kit live here. Blast increase, health key, 50% health is a ton. I remember he was healing like over what's it called? Like 1,000,000 HP for me. It was really crazy. Also increases damage, however up to 80 counts, kind of late, but to be fair, 70 extra is nice. When the battle starts, gets damage, and then another 30% for 50 counts, some damage cut, and then another 15% cut for 50 counts. Also has a restriction for GT, but whenever the battle starts, per GT battle member, he gets another damage increase and key recovery. He's got a lot of damage increases, and I remember him having cards. Yeah. The following effects occur when the enemy performs a cover change. He restores key, draws a card, and destroys enemies' cards. Every time faced with an enemy, does a debuff of draw speed level while increasing his own. So he's got that type of playstyle that he heavily punishes you for switching versus him. Also, whenever he's out there and he uses an arts card, he restores Vanish. I believe his blue did the same thing, right? No, it's whenever he draws cards, if I remember correctly. Applies the following effects itself. Yeah, whenever he draws a card. And that actually is super cheesable with the blue drawing a full hand for him, basically. And when he evades, he draws a card and then restores key. So he automatically always will, if he evades, get some Vanish. I kind of was talking to somebody about this briefly, I think in the comments the other day. Okay, all right. I'm going to put him number 1. Yeah, I'm going to put him number 1. I'm just going to move ahead of the pack and put him up there. Also, his Z ability, if I remember, was decent too. He's a free character, so 14 stars. Blast attack and strike defense. I like when they mix it up like that as opposed to blast attack and blast defense. Yeah, the reason why I wasn't so sure is because I think Omega is decent too as a red character. Support here, canceling buff effects and attribute upgrades. His unique ability, or his ultra ability, excuse me, also has another support effect. Reduces damage, restores health. Goku definitely will do more damage than Omega. Omega will be a better defensive character for the most part. He has some extra draw speed there, some disruption in his kit. He has feint. Yeah, paralysis. Yeah, Goku. Okay, I'll give it to Goku. I don't think Omega's good by any means, but I don't think he was bad either. Now, the real question is SS4 Vegeta and Omega. That's the one. Like I said, there was actually decent competition for these characters in GT. I don't really remember SS4 Vegeta doing too much. I think SS4 Vegeta does a lot of the same stuff as that Goku. Damage increase, special move, Awaken Art, damage increase for allies. Blast damage, general damage, key, bleh. Increased draw speed, blast card cost down. Next card, when enemy switches, plus 40%, bleh. It's not bad, it's just nothing special. When he enters the battlefield, cost down for blues and key recovery, plus 100% damage inflicted when enemy's armor, so he has anti-armor, okay. Reduces damage, plus 15% blast damage. It's just nothing. Change of strikes to blast. Nothing really impressive. Not like purple SS4 Goku. I think purple SS4 Goku is better. Okay, so I don't really care what you think about their placements. I'm just going to put them both in replacement options. I'm not going to put one in the worst replacement. I'll just put them both there. All right, so let's go to GT Trunks. I'm going to skip Vegeta for a second. GT Trunks I'm going to put down here because he's not recommended. However, I do think that he had a nice place when he came out. He was really fun. His defeated buffs, if he gets a Zenkai, he could be a decent option, and he would move up to being a replacement because, unfortunate for him, he would actually be worse replacement probably. Unfortunate for him, this team has basically their best characters are all green. Pretty much all of them, except for like 1 or 2 characters, are all green. So, and they're all Super Saiyan 4. So, like, he doesn't really have a chance to be used on this team. You'd have to be exporting him probably to hybrids. So, Super Saiyan Vegeta's Zenkai, I'm going to put him as our first character. I actually really liked his Zenkai. They really accentuated on what he did. I also really like the support that they added into his kit. A lot of GT characters just have a lot of support, but it's heavily restricted in a lot of cases, and Vegeta is no different, where he's offering different buffs to allies that are Super Saiyan 4 or Sun Family, things like that. I really do like what they did for him for the most part. However, as a character that wants to do debuffs and damage, it's not really particularly great when you don't have access to removing of buff effects to take off immunities, even though some of your allies could have access to that, or when you don't have access to nullifies, unfortunate. So I can't really put him any higher, especially because I think Oob is actually still a better option, if for no other reason than Oob being like the only character on this list that actually has endurance, even though which even though can be nullified, is still an incredibly powerful mechanic. All right, so Kid Goku, a character I love as well. Blast Family, my man. He's not good, needs a Zenkai. This Kid Goku, I'm not gonna say he like. Okay, so this is a meme, kinda. I'm only gonna put him up here, not because he's a character you should use, but because his HPZ ability is very high value, and I really value HPZ abilities. Again, this is a meme. Do not take this too seriously. He really is down here because he's not recommended to use. However, he deserves a placement on the team, and I don't have a ranking for characters that should be on the team. So nonetheless, we're basically going to build the team on the top row, if you will, and he is a character with that Z ability only because that you are not using him. Ignore him, okay? Ignore him. Just remember his Z ability, because otherwise he's pretty bad. We're going to put you down here. My boy, my boy, my boy. I'm sorry, I'm going to put you down here only because 17 I think is a lot better. Oh, man. Oh, man. If Sin gets a Zenkai with endurance and he winds up being better than Oob, he might actually jump this list a ton as a yellow character. Speaking of yellow, 17. I'm not sure if it's him or Goku, but 17 is easily one of the best characters that are free in the entire game right now. Do I think he's better than Vegeta? Yeah, I think he's better than Vegeta. So I'll put Vegeta down here. Majub EX. Man, red is so heavily congested. So congested. Okay, so I think that Oob is better probably on Fusion Warriors. But Oob has some fun stuff in his kit that if you had him at like a high star level, he probably is your main red for this team. But for now, I'm going to stick him where all three of the other reds are. They all could be in like lower placements, but I'm doing them a service here and not trying to put like Vegeta in worse replacements or not recommended. Even though really, if we're being completely honest, I wouldn't recommend anybody use any of those three characters. So, okay, you know what? With that context, I'll just do it. I said that they deserve to be decently options. They could probably be a little higher, but I wouldn't recommend anybody use them, unfortunately. So it is what it is. You saw where they were a second ago. Take from that what you will. I'm not worried about your feelings. Sorry. All right. At least I was. I'm not anymore. So blue. Actually, I can't do that. Wait a minute. I can't do that. I can't. Okay. We gotta put at least those two there. Because the old 2-year anniversary one was up there. I couldn't have that list be looking like that. Because people are gonna I gotta move Goku down too. People are gonna pass these around without context, dude. gotta move Goku down. All right. So EX Omega here. I recently did a video for him too. I thought he was really good. It's unfortunate though, because without stars, he ain't getting used, but he has some fun stuff in his kit, like the feint, removal of buff effects, the AoE green, the no switch. He's got some fun stuff, man, but without high stars, he ain't getting used. They're the best character for this team and a top 3 or 4 character in the game. They're easily there. He's the best purple for this team. He's going there. Easy answer. Pan is going here, really easy. Look at my God, red is so congested for this grouping. Sorry, Goku, but you're going there. Speaking of Goku, this one is going here, SS4. Super 17, I think, is actually pretty decent. Who's the... But green is too damn congested. My God, green is congested too. Okay, let me move you here. Ironically, he goes here because he's the only other purple sparking this team has. And he's actually still got some fun stuff in his kit, so... He goes there, and I don't think that's debatable. But let's sort out these green characters. Oh my God, it feels so bad to put these characters low. Okay, so here's the deal. The character with the most utility on this list is Gogeta. However, I guess it's between him and 17 who does less damage. So there's that. Gogeta also may, on average, be the worst tank here because he has a huge tank in the beginning, but that falls off when he gets hit, which you can easily cheese with like a tap punch, for example. And he's a defense type. The other two I don't believe are. I know Goku isn't. I think 17's not either. 17 also has that barrier, the healing. But Gogeta has the freaking blast armor. The issue with Gogeta is that he doesn't do any damage. And also the issue with all of these characters is that the best character in their team is green. So I'm not even looking at any of these characters to be the Z tier spot. They're going to be in the replacement. I'm trying to figure out what order. I'll put Goku. Because the pivot for blast draw, all the damage he does, the high heal on the ultimate, he deserves a spot there. So if that's the case, then I'm going to move you here, and I'll move you there. I think that looks pretty good. We've got the best green, blue, yellow, red, and purple on the top row. We have their next best options for all colors except for red. The reds actually were all really low. I could move one of those reds back up. I really don't know which red it would be. Like, I feel like if I say Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, you know, I'm wrong. I feel like if I say Ultra Omega, I'm wrong. I really don't know which red it would be. I don't think it's the other ones in the bottom row, like Oob or unless Oob's High Star or Kid Goku red. I don't think it's those characters. Certainly not Super Baby 2. But anyways, the options, the characters you could still find a spot for, you could use those characters. Kid Goku, the SS3 one, could be in options as well, but I put him in worse replacement because there are two better characters that are above him. However, if you don't have either of those Zenkais, because they are Zenkais, then Kid Goku becomes the best blue for you, I think, on your team. But at that point, the problem is, at that point, you probably wind up getting in a position where it's like, okay, well, if you don't have certain characters, you may as well not even run that color. Maybe you just run a Zenkai buffer. Maybe you grab somebody from the Saiyan team, put them on your bench for just Z ability, right? So that's kind of the situation you're in. But let's look at this top row before we conclude. These are the best characters, I think, per color. SS3 or SS1 Goku on the back end is irrelevant. If you're using GT, you're only really using the front four, in my opinion, especially with Beast Gohan all the time. So really the last couple of spots, including this guy's spot, are up for grabs. That's what I'm saying. In a team composition scenario, you could do something like take him out, put this character in the team for a Zenkai buff and a second green option if you think you really need it, and you can add another Zenkai buffer, or you could put that purple Goku back up there, and you can form a team like that on the top row, and that would be basically your best GT composition. If you prefer to have the full color wheel, you can drop one of these two Gokus and slide this guy back in, things like that overall. So we're gonna go ahead and conclude there, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. And by the way, I'm gonna say this so there's no confusion. This Goku, this isn't saying he's better than this guy, for example. That's not the point. It's not about what's better than what. It's more about, well, it is, but it's more about in terms of the actual best characters for their colors. If that wasn't clear enough, if that was not clear enough, that is what matters. By the way, this placement, again, like I said earlier, does not matter. I'm not going through each color and saying, oh, this is the best character for worst replacement. It doesn't matter. I'm talking more on the aspect of team building. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Share the video with your friends, and I'll see you all in the next one.